good morning, good morning. Welcome to Auntie Knows Kitchen. Today we're going to be making blueberry biscuits. And yes, I'm putting some blueberries, some fresh blueberries into those buttermilk biscuits. And I really appreciate all the love and support and the views that everyone out there in the YouTube world has given my buttermilk biscuit upload. From the bottom of Auntie Knows heart, I really appreciate it. Now, for those of you that are not familiar with the blueberry biscuits, there's a restaurant that that's known for these blueberry biscuits, but they call them something else. Well, I'm going to call them blueberry biscuits. And so we're going to go over the ingredients and everything you need. Yes, Auntie gives you everything you need, and we go through step by step. So give Auntie a moment and we'll get to those ingredients. All right, our first ingredient, which is the main ingredient, can't have a biscuit without what? Flour. Now, my buttermilk recipe, I go by what my pearl used. Self-rising flour, white lily. Yes, white lily is ingrained in my soul. Need 2 cups of white lily flour, but make sure you wash those hands. Now, those hands are nice and clean and dry. And I put my flour in a sifter because flour can have lumps. And I'm going to sift my flour. Now, when you use the self-rising flour, there's no need for baking powder and this other stuff. This is old-fashioned biscuit recipe. No lumps in here, so we're good to go. This here flour. I'm going to add just a 4 teaspoons of salt. No, don't use sea salt. Don't use pink salt. Don't use Mediterranean or whatever. You use iodine salt. Those salts are really good for you because I do use them. I cook with them. But they have no nutritional purposes. Even though that little girl with the umbrella, salt's not good for you, but you need a little bit of sodium in your we do need a little bit of sodium, but don't go crazy on salt. And the reason why you added salt to this because I have 1.5 cup of blueberries. These are fresh blueberries got from my farmer's market, and I sprinkle a little bit of sugar over them, and they were kept in the fridge and kept cold, so those won't be added. I have you need a 3/4 cup of buttermilk, cold buttermilk. You're going to need 1/4 cup of cold vegetable shortening. Now, no, do not use the butter one. And no, this is not lard. This is not butter. I use Crisco. Only brand I use, Crisco. And I'm going to cut that 1/4, and I have it marked so you all can see. And that's the thing about these blocks. They're marked. Now, 1/4 cup is 4 tablespoons. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm gonna cut this, shorten it down, and I'm gonna put it in here. And here comes the fun part. I'm gonna wash these hands again because they've been touching paper and stuff like that. Make sure these hands are nice and dry and comfy. Nice and dry. You cannot go into this with wet hands. And I'm going to move this flour out the way. Cleanup comes last. Now, to this, what you're going to do is get those finger forks together. because very important. These finger forks, they didn't use pastry cutters. I have them, but you need to be able to feel this dough. Feel your dough. You need to be able to feel the crumbleness of what you're gonna turn this block of shortening into. Now this is cold, so you're just gonna start crumbling this up inside this flour. And the reason why you need your shortening cold, because you need to feel it's going to make your dough crumbly. You cannot use warm room temperature shortening, because it's not going to crumble. It's going to just be mushy. You can't make good biscuits with mushy shortening. It doesn't work. That's why your ingredients need to be cold. You can't rush through it. You can't rush through things. See, what I'm trying to show you is the see how it crumbles? Crumbles. You're gonna do this. Make sure everything is nice and crumbly. You want to keep doing this. And it doesn't take long to completely do this. See, I have a big chunk of shortening. You need to make sure that all your shortening is well blended and well crumbled into this flour before you start adding milk. All right, see, I'm nice and crumbly now. Look at there. See how nice and crumbly that is. All right, I'm gonna now add this 3/4 cup of cold buttermilk. Now, if you want to use regular milk, you can, but it's best to use buttermilk in my opinion. Now, I'm not adding sugar to this because my blueberries have been they have sugar on them, so I don't need to add sugar to this. But if you want to, you can. Make sure you get all that goodness out of there. Don't leave nothing. All right. Then you're going to play in it. Make sure incorporate this. Remember, what was that movie? I think it was Boomerang, when that character said, "Oh, you look so good and you always sharp." He go, "You got to coordinate." Well, when you're making biscuits, you got to incorporate everything. You got to incorporate. Let me get my bowl, my plate rather. Okay. You got get your extra flour. Don't put this in here. You just keep this to the side, because what you're going to be doing now is taking a little bit of this flour in that mixing hand, because you're going to be mashing dough, and the dough, the dough is going to be wet, and it's okay. You're going to see it's turning into that ball of dough, and that's what you want. Flour, just a little bit. Now, do not use all-purpose flour to flour your hand, flour your whatever what you're going to roll your dough on. Use self-rising. Do not mix your flours. You're going to mess up your biscuits. And instead of you being able to eat them, you're going to have to use them to prop your dough open, or use them as weapons. Or give them to the kids to use as hockey pucks. You won't be eating them. See my dough? See my ball? See this nice pretty ball of dough that's formed? Flour this hand. Look at there. See how pretty that is? Now we're going to move this out the way. We're going to move to our board. Flour my board. Don't over flour your board, because if you do that, you're going to mess your biscuits up. What I'm going to do, show you what I'm going to do. Take this old good old rolling pin. This pen is over 20 years old. Yep, it is. Get some of these blueberries. Yeah, they're going to roll everywhere. But see what I'm going to do, see if I can make a little side pocket here. Gonna add some more on top of here. It don't matter if they roll. You just catch them. Catch them, catch them, catch them. Don't mind if they roll. You catch them. You know, I hate to go buy to somewhere and you buy a blueberry biscuit or some cinnamon biscuit and you bite into them and they don't have much in them. That's disappointing. That's very disappointing. You want a cinnamon raisin biscuit and you bite into it, you expect to feel those, you expect to see them and taste them in that biscuit. I'm going to fold this back over. Let me flour this back down. You all get back in there. Where you going? Oops. That's okay if you mess that up. I need to flour up under you because it's okay if these, see how you got to catch them. They trying to get away. I'm going to fold them again. Fold this again. Pick this up, flour my board. The board was getting a little sticky. Put some in this because I don't feel any down in this here corner here. And see, I'm folding. I'm still folding. You know, nothing changes about my folding. Nothing has changed about how I fold. Okay, Auntie is going to go and get these cutters. And if you got your biscuits, your blueberries, rather get a little flour on them, that's okay. That's goodness. Still going in the oven. And I'm going to pat these down some, because you don't want biscuits looking like cupcakes. Some people made that way, you use that thick cutter. But I'm not going to do that. But before I do that, I need to get this little simple 8-inch pan. I don't use my good cake pans like that to bake biscuits. This is a simple 8-inch. I don't know what it is. Simple 8-inch. It's an 8-inch cake pan. That's all you need to bake this, to use this recipe. And what you're gonna do, I'm gonna cut a little bit here, this shortening off. Make sure I have enough. Let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4. Because I always want to make sure I have enough on a block for another recipe. Because you're going to take this and throw that in there like that. Don't use Pam to line your biscuit pan with. You shortening. I wouldn't recommend. In my opinion, I wouldn't recommend butter either. That's just me. Some things I have altered as I've gotten older and developed my own stuff over these, 35 years. You know, some things I have altered, but some stuff I stick to my pearl stuff. Got that pan all nicely greased. All right, now it's time to get these babies cut. For those of you that didn't know what I was probably referring to when I said a a dough cutter, this is what they are. You do this, and you need, when you're making biscuits, you need to fill your dough. I'm gonna pat these babies down some, because you know, I heard the crunch of that blueberry. Look at that. Now, my fellow diabetics, these biscuits are going to be 30 carbs. So I'm not a doctor. I go by what my stuff do. So I eat one of these. I know to set my pump for 30 carbs if I was going to eat one of these. For my fellow pump users. You know, when you hear the crunch of that blueberry inside that biscuit, you know you about to get some goodness. You just know you about to get some goodness. When you hear the crunch of that blueberry, you know you about to bite into some goodness when they're done. And what I'm going to do with this, you think I'm going to throw this away? All this goodness? I still got some room? Heck no. And don't you do it either. No. Mama, Auntie, I'm gonna use this. I still got room. Very important, when you put your biscuits in the pan, let them touch. Because when they're not touching, they just, all that space between them, your biscuit will rise, but they're going to fall over. Like a leaning tower. They're going to fall over. To me, that's ugly. Okay, I'm going to fold this over. Like I say, it is okay if that biscuit, that blueberry is showing. It is okay. Don't fret the small stuff. And just like I folded these, I'm going to fold these too. I'm not going to half step on anything. What I did half step on though, I need to make sure that I need to move these over to some flour. That's better. Now I can fold again. All right, let's get this baby cut. Look at there. You see what I'm talking about, guys? You see that? And this last biscuit over here, my center biscuit, ooh, it's probably going to be thicker than the other ones. But I'm finna put this blueberry right on top. You see, I got some extra piece of dough, but I'm not going to toss it. I'm going to put this one in my little countertop convection oven It'll be all by its lonesome. I'm not wasting any blueberries. This berry overload, guys. Berry overload. Can't forget you. Berry overload. For those that don't like blueberries, you can use cut up strawberries. You can use blackberries. Whatever fruit you like. Just make sure you have it. Now, again, fellow diabetics, don't put sugar on your biscuits. Use another sweetener. It'll cut down those carbs. All right, guys, this is done. My oven is already hot to 415. Gonna pop these babies in the oven for about 20 minutes, maybe 25, because we got to get all that goodness cooked. And we'll be back. Guys, the biscuits are done. They're nice and golden brown. So I'm going to brush some butter. See, I have my butter melted. I prefer to brush the butter on, so I'm going to swirl this around a little bit and get a little more melted. And we'll be right back and get the butter in these good old biscuits. All right. Okay, I'm going to take this butter and melt it down. Not melt it down. We're going to take this butter and brush it over these biscuits. See that? Look at all the, what I call it? That goodness. Look at that goodness. Oh, look at that blueberry. Guess he's saying, Oh, I butter both sides of my biscuits. Keep them soft. Well, they don't last. They're not gonna last long enough to worry about softness. Well, they're soft anyway. So, see, it's this easy to follow recipe. So what I'm gonna do is flip these babies so you guys can see. Oh, I need a spatula. I need a thin one. Nice and cooked evenly on both sides. And guys, the biscuits did not take 20 minutes. They actually took 30 minutes. So be wary of that. This is a gas stove, and it was 415 already preheated because they had been heating for a while. And the biscuits took actually 30 minutes and not 20 minutes at 415. Woo, look at all those blueberries in there. And I'm going to get one of these open for you so you can be able to see on the inside of them. Let's get this middle child. The middle child. See, the middle child always be a little off, a little odd sometimes. Okay. I'm going to butter the other side of these biscuits. Like I said, I wish there was smell-a-lens. Yeah, I want, butter makes everything so good. Not like a little extra butter down now to get it all down to them sides. Okay. Now, I'm going to pick my middle child. Good, to pick the middle child to go into. Yes, let's pick this middle child to cut into. We're gonna move the, oh goodness gracious. Look at there. Look at there. You see all those blueberries in there? And see, they're soft, really soft. I would love to taste them, but for those of you that follow me, you know I'm having some esophageal issues today. It's been going on now 4 days, and so I'm not going to put this in my mouth because I'm still on liquids. But I just want to show you that. Look at there. Look at there, and I'm going to put one by its side so you can see. Look at that. This. So guys, this is an easy to follow recipe for those famous blueberry biscuits that you got to go outside to a restaurant for. You can make these at home, save yourself some time, some money, and eat as many as you want. These are really, really good. Really, really good. So, until the next recipe from Auntie Knows Kitchen, thank you for stopping by. I appreciate all your support. Like and subscribe. And until then, eat and enjoy.